In today's video, we're going all the way back to the 1960s to look at a HR Holden. The HR Holden that was produced between 1966 and 1968 was one of Holden's greatest. Previous to this, Holden's had another great selling car, the EH, which was produced between 1963 and 1965. With its upgraded red motor for more performance and power, this very masculine-looking car eclipsed all sales of Holdens that came before it. And Holdens wanted to capitalise on this sales, so they brought out the HD model in 1965. The initial sales of the HD were very good, but the car's first promise was not realised. And Holdens had to go back to the drawing board and sort of hurriedly redesign the HD model to come up with something that was far more appealing for the Australian public. With the cookie cutter fronts on it, Holdens decided then to bring out the HR, with its redesigned of lifting the indicators from underneath the bumper bar to be integrated with the front grille, more vertical tail lights, a longer fronted nose. The HR became the most second popular car of all time in the 1960s. With 252,352 Holden HR models being built, this car was the first car also to be sold in Australian dollars. And a standard Holden sedan would set you back $2,167 in 1966. You could get your HR with a 161, a 186, a 186 X2, and later a 186S. You could get them in a 3 or 4-speed manual or a 2-speed power glide. The HR Holden became one of Holden's most popular cars after the EH. And in today's video, we're very privileged to look at a genuine catalogue from 1966 of a HR Holden from that year, courtesy of Everything Cars, who has the original copy of this and has allowed me to use footage of his brochure to be integrated with my video. So I thank him very much. So without further ado, sit back, relax and enjoy the 1966 HR. Smooth Holden, Australia's own car. And as we turn the page, the first car we get to is the top of the line Holden of the day, which was the Premier. And the Premier, I believe, came with a lot of features that were in the HD, but of course they were integrated for the HR. So basically the same standard level of standard finish, but in the HR model, which I think for all intents and purposes was a much better looking car. So we've got the HR Premier here, and you've got extra chrome finishing on the hubcaps, and I also believe that you could get either a black roof or a white roof, and of course it also offered, I believe for the first time, metallic paints. And you also got lots of buttons in your seats to make it look like a bit of a lounge, more like a lounge chair experience rather than just straight seating, so to speak. And of course colour-coded dash as well, and a nice little armrest in the back for the rear passengers. And there's some of the colour options that you got with your Premier interiors. Luxury, lovely, and this is for you. How nice. And of course this is all from 1966, so there's a lot there. And next we go into the Holden Special Sedan, because there was the basic Holden, and then you had the Holden Special Sedans, and then you had the Premier. Sporty new spirit in a sleek U shape. And of course the Holden Special Sedan had a few little more ornaments on it, with bits of chrome and whatever there that were a little bit more than what you got with your standard Holden. But I just love the look of that car. There's something about it that I think between the EH and the HR, I think they were my favourites, my two favourite 60s cars for sure. And here we're looking in, having a look at the front bench seat, which of course you don't see too much these days. And of course a white Holden with a red interior, which was very popular, I believe, at the time. The Holden Special Interiors. And of course he flashes across the different colours that you could coordinate your Holden trimmings with inside. Very nice to see. Special interiors. So rather than just getting bog standard stuff, you got a little bit of choice with your special Holden Special, and that's why they called it. Was a little bit more special than the standard Holden that you could buy. And then we move on to the station sedans. And long before we adopted the name wagon, all the wagons here were actually called station sedans. And even the previous model Holdens, a lot of them used to have it printed on the side, actually. So now we're into the Premier sedan, station sedan, sorry. And the wagon particularly gets a plush look to a wagon. And that would have been the car to have back in the day. And yeah, I think they had the wind down windows and of course the drop tailgate, which was always a very popular thing back in the day. And of course there's another Holden sedan, and I think that's just a standard sedan. And here I think that looks like it's an X2 one, and of course the wide open screen that you could see, the new turbo smooth power of 145 horsepower, and that would be the X2 because they were rated the X2 up to 145 horsepower with a 186. And there's just a standard sedan. The standard sedans were just a basic car, really. One color fits all. You didn't get a white roof like you got with the Holden Specials. And there's another Holden sedan, and taking it out on the dirt tracks and out on the open road. And I think if you were to get one or get a HR, I think the pick of the bunch would have been the Special sedan or the Premier. But they were all wonderful cars, and I just love the look of the HR. There's no doubt about that. And there's some facts and figures there, which he flashed across a bit, which I couldn't really get to. But nevertheless, I'm sure when he does his video, he'll show it a bit more. And then, of course, it goes into the NASCO accessories, which I do have a brochure of the NASCO's accessories of what you can get. And I might even tack it on to the end of this video, and we can have a look at some of the NASCO accessories that you could option up your HR with. And that's the end of the brochure, with the Holden driving off into the sunset. So I say thank you very much to Everything Cars for that bit of footage. That's great stuff. And as I said, I thought it'd be interesting just to have a look at the some of the NASCO accessories that you could get for your Holden. Of course, NASCO supplied most of the extra bits for all the Holden ranges back in the day. And this is what you could get with your HR after looking at the catalogue of the new HR. And I just thought it'd be interesting to have a look at some of the extra bits that you could buy to add on to your HR that you didn't get when you bought it. So you got your manual radio, your push button radio, or your portable that you could take out, a rear speaker for the rear parcel shelf, and a retractable aerial. And then we move on to something to give you a little bit of warmth, as most of them didn't come with heaters. So, of course, if you wanted a bit of warmth, you had to buy that and add that into the car as well. Something that you don't have to worry about these days. And, of course, if you were enjoying the great outdoors, if you wanted to tow, well, then you've got a tow bar and a telescopic mirror and some NASCO power brakes and some wheel chocks. And, of course, the power brakes were a bit of a necessity, I would say, because, it was all drums all round. And then some external accessories for extra glamour, protection, and convenience. So we'll have a bit of a look there. So you've got your weather shields and your high note horn and the fender rear vision mirrors on there, and some nice decorative NASCO mud flaps, and some nice wheel trim rings, and a weather shield rear vision mirror, or rear view mirror, and a nice ornament for your hood, something to keep the insects out of your radiator, because they used to get piled up in there, and a lot of people used to use a bit of flywire screen as well, and your locking petrol caps, and paint protection panels, and rubber cushioning bumpers and things. So this was just basically bling for your car, or for your new HR Holden. So if you wanted a bit of bling, you went to and had a look at the NASCO accessories and all the things you could get with your floor mats and gear locking levers and different things like that. Suitcase set even, believe it or not. Parcel shelf and the Venetian shades. So, yeah, all wonderful, wonderful things if you wanted to bling up your HR. And, of course, as I said, a lot of these things didn't come standard with the cars back in the day. So you had to, if you wanted extra things, you went and had a look through your NASCO catalogue and picked out what you wanted, or what you thought you might need. So, yes, there's quite a lot of bits and pieces there that you could get with an anti-glare and a courtesy lamp for your glove box, and retractable seats and handbrake warning lamp in the middle. You didn't even get one of those yet. That had to be an optional extra. And a rear seat handle there, and cool ride cushions to keep you cool and comfortable on those vinyl seats. And something for the utilities. So you got a sunshade, you could get a sunshade and utility rope rail, so you could tie down your loads as you were carrying it around in your new utility. And something for the station wagon owners. So some accessories for there. A picture showing of a happy family with their decked out or blinged out HR wagon. And now we'll have a look. So you could get some nice Venetian shades for the side and a dust reflector. I think they did seem to work fairly well, those dust reflectors too. And you could get a luggage compartment cover so people couldn't see what you were carrying in the back of your station wagon or station sedan. And then it says, why take chances with your new Holden? Buy genuine Holden or NASCO parts. So there we go. That's what you could, some of the things that you could get with your new Holden. So I'll say thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the HR Holden from 1966, and thanks again to Everything Cars for supplying the footage of his new car brochure from that year. And don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Cheers for now, guys.